All religions have their symbols, their icons to identify them. These things are sacred to those who believe and allow the followers to show their devotion to the rest of humanity. For people, this gives a strong sense of identification, of belonging, and this is something inherent in the needs of all humans, to be counted amongst others who share the same convictions. In football, it's the same. Fans buy their favorite team's shirt with their hero's name printed on it. They wave their team scarves and proudly brandish the colors of their chosen ones so that all will know that this is who they support. These are the players who inspire their dreams. The cost of these items is not important, since it is a small price to pay to be seen as a faithful follower of their champions. But the money surrounding the beautiful game has in recent years grown exponentially. Besides the franchising and merchandising of teams and players, clubs spend large amounts of cash to secure the services of top players, and there are those who would argue that this has detracted from the essence of the sport.
Así como los pases de los jugadores cada vez son los jugadores cada vez valen más dinero, las transferencias son cada vez más millonarias. Hasta hace unos pocos años, con los grandes fenómenos del fútbol mundial, con Maradona, con Pelé, con Cruyff, con los más grandes de la historia, era impensado manejar cifras de decenas de millones de dólares, hasta de cientos de millones de dólares como se manejan ahora. Es incalculable lo que vale Messi, por ejemplo, considerado uno de los 2 o 3 o 4 mejores jugadores del mundo. Es decididamente Barcelona el dueño, no lo quiere vender, entonces no hay precio que lo pague. Como para darte una idea de lo que crece los valores de los jugadores.
Someone who has personal experience with the rise in the value of players is a South African rabbi, Ilan Herman. Ilan's father became one of the most highly prized footballers in South Africa during the 1960s.
My father was a professional soccer player in Brazil. He played for a famous club called Botafogo. In fact, the players that he played with were half the Brazilian selection side of the national team who won the World Cup in '58. People such as Garrincha, Vavá, Zagallo, Didi, Amarildo. Famous names in Brazilian football. Anyway, he broke into the side there, and after a few years, he developed quite a big name in Brazil. He got offers from various parts of the world, and one of the offers came from South Africa, from a club called Hellenic in Cape Town, which he took the offer. And before he was bought for a record transfer fee in that time in South Africa, he broke the transfer record, in fact, for a player being purchased from Highlands Park here in Joburg for 8,000 Rand, which smashed the transfer record at that time. Currently today, 8,000 Rand today, I was speaking about a sum, it would be 1.5 million Rand today. So that would be a fortune in a time when soccer was not commercialized.
Con respecto a que el fútbol se ha comercializado hoy, y creo de que ya ha pasado los límites porque se mueven cifras realmente exorbitantes cuando realmente en diferentes países del mundo obviamente uno ve las diferentes necesidades que hay a nivel social y la pobreza que hay. Primera pregunta contestada, es decir, realmente dejó de ser la esencia de lo que es el fútbol, ya se ha convertido en algo monetario y un negocio pero terriblemente a nivel millonario.
Como decía un teólogo de la liberación de El Salvador, pensar que el presupuesto del Real Madrid es más grande que el presupuesto del Chad, ¿no?, de la República del Chad, es una cosa grave de justicia. Pero cuando uno ve el fútbol con la pasión, pero también ve que hay, digamos, todavía hay... Acá en Argentina se dice potrero, anda a traducirlo vos, Carola, ¿no? Que hay todavía potrero, lo mismo en Brasil, uno ve en Brasil en las playas la gente jugando, en las calles la gente jugando, acá lo mismo, como te decía, en la calle. Eso hace que el fútbol esté en la sangre y entonces creo que eso puede tener que ver con eso. El fútbol es algo que se lleva, que se goza y que se vive. Y por eso puede ser que sea lindo de ver. A mí me gusta, ¿no? Por supuesto.
Football has, to my knowledge, certainly evolved over the course of time, and probably in a positive way and in a negative way. The commercialization of football has, in a certain way, detracted from the game because people often play it on condition. The motivation is driven by a contract. If I'm going to get something out of it, I will perform to the best of my abilities. If not, then I won't. In the old days, I'm led to believe that people played for the game. People played because of the pride of the jersey that they were wearing. Today, perhaps we've detracted in that respect because of the commercialization. Having said that, today's professionalism is probably a lot more advanced. As a result of the commercialization, you've got to cut the grade in order to be really good to warrant being selected and to be able to be afforded.
But despite the increase in the skill level of players, it is this commercial aspect of the game that has proven to be most problematic when it comes to the question of religion. Players who have strong beliefs and who hold to a particular faith often find that their chosen profession clashes with their religious responsibilities. Freddy Canute, a Muslim who plies his trade in Sevilla in Spain, had a conflict with the club over the team's shirt sponsor, which promoted gambling.
I didn't know when I came back after one holiday. I realized that they changed sponsor, and for me it was not good for me to. It was a personal decision because it wasn't good for me to make publicity of this kind of website or whatever. And that's why I decided to just hide it during a few games. After we had to. In life, you always have to make sometimes some compromise to keep doing what is best for you and for people around you.
The situation for Freddy was resolved after discussion with the club. But there are players who have a constant battle trying to balance their religious lives with their professional commitments. To religious Jews, Saturdays are holy days, but most football matches are played on that day because that's when the television audience is bigger and more revenue is available to broadcasters.
האמת, אני כל שבת מקווה ומתפלל שהמשחק יהיה במוצאי שבת ולא בשבת. אז ככה יורד לנו עוד משהו מהלב. ככה לא משחקים בשבת. ואם כבר זה יוצא בשבת, אז אין לנו ברירה, כי זה העבודה שלנו. ואנחנו עושים את מה שאנחנו צריכים לעשות.
For the players on the field, this high-paying career definitely has its pitfalls. But for the fans who come to watch them play, it's a different story. For the supporters, this is what life is all about. To buy that shirt and wear it with pride. To be amongst your fellow fans and to feel part of something larger than just you on your own. Football, much like religion, provides this for the everyday man or woman on the street, giving them shelter from their sometimes overcomplicated lives.
You hope it can help them to be refined, to grow, to know maybe that there is something outside of myself that is better. But should it be football?